Hey everybody, George Beyer here, and people are talking about the Shamrock Jazz Orchestra these days. Get this, my old radio buddy Doug Podell from WLLZ just interviewed Chicago's original drummer Danny Seraphine and Dave Sell from the SJO about their upcoming show Saturday, March 29th at the Andiamo Showroom. You can get your tickets by calling 586-268-3200 or andiamoshowroom.com. Now let's listen in.
Yeah, hi there, Detroit's Wheels.
Hey, Doug.
Yes.
Dave Sell from Shamrock Jazz Orchestra.
Dave, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing? My old friend, we met decades ago. You don't remember me, I know that, but we know all the same guys, the Pastoria brothers, the Romeo brothers, the guys from Adrenaline, Bittersweet Alley, Gary Spaniel.
Yeah, well, that was the rock of the 80s right there.
It was great. It was great. Hey, I have Danny Seraphine on hold.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's pop him on, sure.
All right, Doug?
Yes.
All right, Doug, meet Danny Seraphine.
Hey, Doug, how are you?
I'm good, and it's great to meet you, and congratulations on coming in on this incredible event. Danny Seraphine from the band Chicago.
Awesome. Look forward to meeting you in person. Yeah, looking forward to the event and playing with the Shamrock Orchestra. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I love playing with the big bands.
That was one of the things I was going to ask is how this all came together, but we got to give a little history first. First off, on Shamrock, the jazz orchestra, Danny, when you see these guys actually live, your mind is going to be blowing, because if you like that big band sound, I mean, they really do have it. But what I love is the twist, when they do the medley of the Beatles and the medley of Led Zeppelin and Dave, the way you take those songs and shamrockify them, I guess is what you could say.
Yeah.
It really is special. And Danny, I'm just wondering, because I know these guys from Detroit, so how did you happen to find out about Shamrock Jazz Orchestra?
Well, a close friend of mine by the name of Diane Wu, she works for Dolby Laboratories. She's kind of like the main proponent of Dolby Atmos in cars. That's her goal in life, and her has been for the last, umpteen years. And she's worked with Dave, and
our keys player passed on a link or two, and I think that's what made its way to Danny.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, we should mention, for those that don't know, Danny Seraphine is a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Grammy Award winner, and most importantly, the original and co-founding drummer of the band Chicago. And Danny, I mean, I'm sure you know for a fact that the Motor City loves that band and loved it from the beginning and, all through the years.
It's mutual. I love the Motor City. I've told Dave that I haven't played there. I've done a couple clinics since I left Chicago, but I don't believe I've played like a live performance since I was with the band, so, and I want to get there with my band, but that's another story for another day. I'm so looking forward to playing with the Shamrock Orchestra in Detroit.
I can see where the connection there between you and Shamrock, with the big band orchestra sound of this group. Now, what did you do? Just happen to see some YouTube videos and go, I love these guys, I want to play with them? How did that work out?
Well, Diane showed it to me. I said, Diane, that would be a wonderful. I'd love to sit in with this band. And she mentioned it to Dave, and Dave said, "Yeah, why not? That'd be great." It kind of happened spontaneously, and which is the best way for things to happen, anyways.
Absolutely. So, we should let everybody know that the show is going to be March 29th, Saturday night at Andiamo. So people can get their tickets in advance. It's at the Andiamo Showroom. You will love that room, Danny. It really is perfect for what you guys are about to do. But my question is, I know enough musicians to know that it's rehearsal, 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 rehearsal. So how are you guys kind of preparing for this show?
Well, one rehearsal.
I love that.
Actually, two. Actually,
two. One the night before, right, Dave?
Yeah, we have a rehearsal, full show rehearsal on Friday. Another second set rehearsal. Danny's playing the second set of our show that's where we play all the Chicago hits with him. We're rehearsing that the day of the show early on.
Wow. Oh, that's fantastic. So there's 2 sets, and you're going to do an entire second set of Chicago music. I can see where you're coming from, Danny. You're a rock and roll Hall of Famer. You're a Grammy Award-winning drummer, and you played with Chicago. How many years did you actually play with Chicago? It was a lot, right? I mean,
23
yeah,
years.
that was a lot. It's an absolute lot, and you know,
I still play the music, so I know all this material. My band, I have a band called California Transit Authority, and we're marketed in various, but we play Chicago, and we play it really incredibly well. But so I know all these tunes, and I've been playing them for many, for many years. So. It should be. I'll slide in pretty easily, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're not worried about syncing up, if you will. We're more worried about getting so nervous that we flub up a song with them.
Nah. You know what? Once we hang together, you won't have that nervousness.
Yeah, once you get up there, it all comes together. But I know the crowd is going to absolutely love this. The Shamrock Jazz Orchestra has been playing around now. At least they've been on my radar for the past year and a half or so, and have played some of the best clubs in town there, Danny. So, Dave, tell me a little bit about Shamrock, and tell me about the guys. And I know there's like 48 guys in the band, so I don't, but we should mention them all. We should mention who's in the band and what their history is.
Well, it's a special group, from our perspective, because it's an 18-piece orchestra, 16 musicians and 2 world-class singers. And I think you have heard Gabe Canestracci, our lead singer, Doug. He's just phenomenal.
Absolutely, yeah. He really has a presence on stage, too.
He does, yeah. Well, 14 of us came from East Detroit. Right there at 8 Mile, 9 Mile Road. That's where we all went to school, 9 Mile and Gratiot, East Detroit High School. And various years, of course, there's a range of ages in the group. But we all benefited from an incredibly well-funded and well-executed musical program that the district was fortunate or was giving us. So we benefited greatly. We learned from some of the best instructors. And the nostalgic twist on this is that even one of the retired band directors that taught us growing up when we were children is still our band director. So there's a real hometown nostalgic tug, in this regard. But, here we are decades later playing together again. It's just been an incredible ride, an incredible rush. We played our first show in July of 22 at the Magic Bag, and we sold it out. We couldn't believe it. And we were marketing to our alumni for the most part, but then we moved on to the Emerald Theater in Mount Clemens. We played twice there. We sold that out. It's like, we got something going here. So one thing has led to another. We've gotten better and been sought out by some of the nicer venues, Andiamo's being one of them. And Joe Vacari there at Andiamo's has been terrific to us. And we're really excited about that. And, Doug, I know, of course, George Beyer from his radio days there with you, and as you guys crossed paths over the decades. But George has been involved with us right from day one, and at times acted as our MC. And he's a key member of the group, even though he doesn't play an instrument. So we love having him be part of our group.
Yeah, no, he's a great connection, and I was just about to bring his name up because this is how myself and I know JJ got involved as well, a bunch of us radio guys. He sent out your video to a bunch of us, and for about a week, I kind of I said, what is George sending me all these videos of? And I finally opened one up, and I was absolutely blown away, and I called him right away. I apologize for, taking my time to get back to him. But, we used to work in the radio business, Danny. for, I don't know, close to 30 years together. He was on one of the biggest morning shows in Detroit. I was his boss. And, over the years, we've stayed in touch. So I was really pleasantly surprised when he sent me this. He knows I have a real passion for local music, and I know that Dave and I know so many people, so many mutual friends together. But it has turned out, now we're watching this band kind of climb the flagpole here. And when they added you onto this bill, I said to George, I've got to talk to Danny about this connection, because you're probably not the first and certainly not the last to enjoy this band's music. No question about it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I know it's going to be a great experience, and hopefully I bring a level of authenticity to the Chicago music, which should be fun for everybody and for me too. I still love playing the music, and when I get to play it with musicians of this caliber and with a large horn section, it's just great. It's a great feeling.
And Doug, we're excited about it. Obviously, it's one thing to play a show or play a gig with the highest level act or band or group or singer even. It's one thing, but you do your own things, right? It's a whole different thing when you've got a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer and a co-founder of Chicago playing the drums with you. We're all kind of pinching ourselves and thinking, wow, is this really going to happen? And we're really excited about it. It's not only going to be a great night of music, but we also are factoring in or adding in that there's going to be moments or spots or gaps in the show where Danny's going to tell some stories that I know people will love to hear, that they wouldn't necessarily be able to hear them if they weren't there at that show. History of songs, funny moments, things that happened. You only hear those things when you go to the show. And so that's another unique factor that I think is going to be well received by the audience.
Well, yeah, I love the fact that, you guys are not a tribute band, so to speak. So it's not like Danny's coming in and playing with a Chicago tribute band. Like I said early on, Shamrock Jazz Orchestra makes this music their own. And when you're covering Led Zeppelin or the Beatles or Chicago, it does come across, with your personality. There's no question. So I love that fit. But the city of Detroit just loves Chicago. I've known that for years and years. And Danny, all right, so I'm going to put you on the spot for a story, okay? Because Chicago did, I think, what was the first multi-night stand at Pine Knob. It was back in the early 70s. That would be even before I was on the radio. And I've been around a long time, Danny. But tell us a little bit about what that must have been like when they booked you for 5 big nights in a row at Pine Knob. And what kind of memories do you have of that?
Well, we played Pine Knob. It was a perennial event, and that particular time, I think, to be honest with you, I think later on we sold 10 days, but that, I believe there was a 10-day run. I think maybe
I think now that I think about it, I think you might be right. It might have been 8. 8,
but it was unprecedented. We got to know the press. We got to know radio people. Obviously, the Nederlanders were the promoters. They ran the venue. We knew, the crew. It was just, and most of all, the audience was just, ever since the first time we stepped on a stage in Detroit, Joe Louis Arena, I think we played a gig, before we even went to Pine Knob. It was a love affair, so that's why I have very, very deep feelings and good feelings for Detroit, the city, the people, and, I'm looking forward to coming back. And hopefully it's something that happens more often,
Well, I think this is going to be a fun night. It's going to be a great, collaboration between the two of you. And I guess before we wrap it up, Danny, I see that you did put a book out. I'm not sure when, but I'm sure there's some great stories in that
10 or
book.
11 years ago. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Oh, it's been a while. So people, but
Yeah,
it's still out there. People could pick it up and find out a little bit about you.
Oh, they'll find out more than a little bit. They'll find out more than a little bit. The name of the book is Chicago Street Play. It's called Street Player, My Chicago Story.
Yeah, I don't think Dave and I are putting any books out, anytime too soon. That's for sure. But
Yeah, I would agree.
But that's fantastic. Well, once again, it's one night only, Saturday, March 29th. It's at the legendary Andiamo Showroom. You can get tickets in advance for that. And it's the very special night with Shamrock Jazz Orchestra and Danny Seraphine, original drummer and co-founder of Chicago. It has been a pleasure talking to you guys. And we're all looking forward to seeing this show, I'll tell you that.
Thanks, Doug. Looking forward. Can't wait to meet you, bro. Can't wait to meet you.
All right. And Dave, tell the guys to be ready to rock and have a great show out there with Danny, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're ready to go, and I hope to see you there as well.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much, and thanks for rocking the Motor City, you guys.